To this Belly Up Media production. Some said we'd go belly up, so we made it our name. And we're still here.
For the following announcement, this is paid for, but it's for Forward Addicts Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Jordan episode number 23 of the Wrestling Addicts. I'm Matt. This is Sal. How are we all doing today?
What's going on? A few days away from the chamber.
Yes, the last main stop until WrestleMania. So, you know, we were just talking about it before we went live, but I'm excited. I'm interested in to see what happens, even though, I mean, we kind of have an idea of, you know, who's going to be victorious in that main event.
Yep.
But just, you know, it's Montreal. Shenanigans happen in Montreal all the time. So
all the time. Canada is... I wish they would go to Canada more because it's just such a good crowd all the time. I mean, I remember the last time they were in Canada and the crowd was just great. And I wish they would do it more. They don't do it as often.
I agree. You know, it's you got to switch it up. And to go to a hot place like Montreal, you know, it's a wrestling. You know, they know wrestling there, so they're always they may not react the way that they want them to, you know, with who they're cheering for and whatnot, but they're engaged.
Crowd.
Yeah, and they're engaged.
Hey, maybe we see some Bret Hart.
I wouldn't mind if we don't. You know,
yeah,
I wouldn't. Like what? He'll be in the crowd. Oh, he's here for Natty, you know, for her Elimination Chamber match. That I don't get. I mean, everyone else makes sense, but Natty?
You have to do it. You know, she's been there for so long, and if you're going to Canada, you kind of have the hometown person in there, and you got to do it. If she's on the roster and you know how much the Hearts mean to Canada, you kind of have to have her in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would have liked to see, you know, maybe Candice LeRae or Mia Yim or Piper Niven in her place, but it's okay.
Where's Nia Jax been since the Royal Rumble?
I think that was a one-off.
Really?
I don't think she has signed any contracts. I think that was just hey, you know, we have a spot for you in the Rumble. Then that was about it. I'm not complaining about it.
What a botch then, if that was the case. I mean, you don't even get the countdown. You announce her ahead of time. And like I saw she had a shirt in WWE shops. Unless
They've done that before. They sometimes when people have one-offs, you know, they're like
Nia Jax. They're wasting material on. Listen, I get it. She's not like most girls, but like I thought for sure that her being 30 that she would be coming back, but you know, if that's not the case, I guess.
From everything I've heard, it was a one-off, and she hasn't signed anything. But she did get a shirt, which maybe it was a part of her deal for the one-off. Like, I'll do the one-off, but give me a shirt out of it.
And they're probably like, okay.
They're probably like, all right, give her a shirt.
But before we dive into Elimination Chamber, we have to talk about Monday night. And
Right.
I'm not shocked like a lot of the IWC was, saying that, if Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes have their face off, that the fans are going to turn on Cody and they're going to boo Cody. And Triple H was probably like, okay, bet, and then he did it. He had them the face to face. I thought it was cool that they did that. It's maybe given us that little glimmer of doubt that Roman can lose, and it would be to Sammy. Like Sammy can pull it off, but the whole Sammy not believing in himself, that like he can't do it or whatever. I don't know if they're trying to go for the sympathetic baby face when you don't have to do that because the match is already in his hometown. And people are already liked Sammy, before all this. So I don't know if that's like the right direction, but
I don't know if they're going for sympathy. I think they're going for just experience, maybe. Sammy's been around Roman more than anybody else. He knows his strengths. He knows his weaknesses. And, he's seen what Roman has done over the maybe past year, and he knows how hard he is to beat, and he knows, he's putting some doubt on it. Like, putting Roman over is what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're making him look more the badass than he already is.
I thought that promo segment with Cody was just... I don't know how you could have done it any better. At first, when I was like, oh boy, like, okay, we're doing this, and it went perfectly. I mean, the IWC is just, oh, they're going to turn on Cody. Oh, they're going to start booing him. Yeah, okay. I'd like to see that when that's going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Cody is over. Sammy is over. I get it, but they're not turning on Cody. It's not happening. This isn't AEW where they booed Cody out of the building. But I thought this was just great. What a good segment, back-to-back weeks with Cody having just legendary promo segments. If it was 2 weeks ago with Paul Heyman, and now with Sami Zayn, and he's been every time he's on Raw, it's the highest segment of the show. So, I don't want to hear from anybody else that's saying Cody's not a draw.
He definitely is. He definitely is, and that's why he's going to be the guy to beat Roman.
Yeah, definitely. This story has just, WWE's on fire. They really are. They are hot. Not to hate on the other company, but they couldn't be as cold, and WWE is as hot as they've been maybe in the last 10 years with this story.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best stories that they have done. I can't even remember the best one before this one, like a good storyline where there were so many layers. It's been going on for almost 10 months, and it hasn't been stale. People aren't over it.
Evolution. You'd have to go back to Evolution.
Yeah.
To me, that was probably the last good story with Triple H and Batista, and that was the really last really good story. I mean, we've had more in the past, you've had a ton, but, they haven't been as memorable as certain ones.
Yeah.
This is just, did you see the rating they did for SmackDown? They gained like 300,000 viewers for the last Bloodline segment. They gained 300,000 viewers from from segment to segment.
Wow.
Like the Bloodline went on last, and they gained 300,000 viewers from the last segment.
People want to see it. It's so intriguing, and it's it's got my attention. It's had my attention, and I think that's like what I'm looking forward to so much on Saturday. And it kind of goes into like something else I wanted to talk about. I'm not really excited for these chamber matches.
Yeah, I'm a little excited for the men's one. The women's one, I could really care less about because I know who's going to win it. Asuka's going to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other one in that match that has a chance of winning would probably be Raquel. That would just, I mean, maybe Liv, but I doubt it. And obviously, I don't think they're going to have Natalya and Carmella win it and Nikki Ash, but
if it wasn't WrestleMania, I would say anyone could win it. But you know, like if it was just like a regular chamber match for like a title shot or like whatever.
Oh yeah.
Or you know, like I could see Raquel, I could see, you know, Liv, but with it being, you know, to face Bianca at WrestleMania, you know, obviously all signs point to Asuka. She just got repackaged. You know, she made her return at the Rumble. She was the final four. I think maybe she was the second to last eliminated, I think.
Yeah,
Oh no, Liv
Rhea
was.
and Liv. Rhea and Liv were the last two, and she was number 3.
Yeah, so final four, she's back. You know, looks like she's going in a more serious direction. You know, with her character not being goofy and quirky, which is good. You know,
Triple H is a big when in the NXT days he was a huge fan of Asuka, and then you know she left NXT, came up to WWE. Vince kind of, you know,
fed her to Charlotte.
Yeah, well, he gave her opportunity. She was champion for a little while, you know, but it just wasn't the same. And now she's back to being what, you know, she's back to being this gimmick, and it's great. Triple H is really starting to repackage people, and it's working.
I think that her being a more serious would be a bigger threat to Bianca because it's, you know, they're booking Bianca like Cena. You know, she's overcoming everything. She can't lose, you know, and that's okay. Like, fine. But, you know, the only ones that are a threat to really beat her would be Becky or Bayley. And they're not even in the chamber match. You know, they're going to have their own thing at Mania.
They're going a whole different direction. I thought we were getting Damage Control versus Becky, Lita, and Trish, but Trish didn't show up on Monday, and I mean we still have SmackDown, so who knows? Maybe they announce it on SmackDown. Maybe it's going to happen, or maybe it just doesn't happen at all.
Maybe that happens at WrestleMania because there's nothing. Because I think Dakota's hurt.
Yeah.
But, you know, what do they do at Mania at this point? Because, you know, they're not involved in the chamber. I honestly thought that we were going to get like a double pin to where like they both hit the same move, cover Bianca, and then they're both in the chamber, which would just
crowded.
It would have been crowded, but it didn't make because you kind of had a feeling that, you know, once it was one of them, you knew you're not going to have you can't have Becky in there without Bayley. You can't have Bayley in there without Becky because they still have that story. So I thought they were going to do like a fatal 4-way to start, but it would have been crowded. It would have been too much, too overexposure, and you know maybe them not doing anything, you know, is good. You know, for give it a little break because if you're not going, because you need to add something else to it. Like Lita came back and then she wasn't there the next week, so it was like
it was weird. I thought we were going to see her this week, and then that's when Trish was going to come out, but none of that happened. So I don't know if Lita was just a one-off, just to pop the crowd and get some reaction online, or I don't. I don't really know what that was about, but maybe they're doing something at Mania because are we going to get Becky and Bayley at Mania again? They would have to be a stipulation match. It would have to be like I don't know, like a number one contenders ladder match or something. Have them do a ladder match or a number one contenders ship or something. You can't just have another just one-on-one match. It has to be a blow-off match where you do something big. I don't know.
I agree. And, that's why I'm trying to figure out if they don't have Lita and Trish, who do they bring in? The Bella Twins? That I don't see. It just wouldn't make sense for Becky to team up with Brie. And
the only other thing I could think of is, and this is a long shot, but are they going to bring in Naomi and Sasha? And are they going to convince Sasha to, okay, you can do your New Japan stuff, but maybe come do some stuff for us too? I don't know. That's a long shot, but
I think that ship has sailed with Naomi and Sasha.
Think Naomi. I don't think it has with Naomi. I think Naomi's going to be back. Because
where is she? Now's the time. Now's the time to come back. I mean, she's not. Listen, if Sasha wasn't going to get Charlotte or Becky money,
right?
What is Naomi asking for? What does she think is she going to get?
I don't know. I like Naomi, but I don't think she's on a Charlotte level, a Becky level. She's not on that level for me.
Yeah.
She's like a level below that for me.
She's on like a Liv Morgan, Raquel,
right?
Raquel tier.
She's on like Liv Morgan's tier or something like that. But
if the women had a mid card, I think for a mid card title, she would be perfect for that. The TBS title, within AEW.
The tag titles for the women are that's like the mid card title kind of. I mean, they don't use. I mean, I know Dakota's hurt, but it's not like they have to use them. But
and I like Naomi, and it's not her fault. She just was never presented in a way to where it's main event status.
It's not her fault. It was just the way she was booked.
Yeah.
But hey, everybody can't be on top.
That's right.
But I don't know. That's my long shot, but I doubt that happens.
Well, it's interesting to see how they're going to be involved because, you need something to happen. Maybe there's a backstage segment with Trish. Maybe Trish is being interviewed or she's in the ring. Damage Control confronts her. Yeah. Becky's music hits. Lita comes out. Something. If that doesn't happen in Canada to where you can't get Trish in Canada, then maybe you're not going to get Trish and Lita with Becky. And it's 2 nights. It's going to be 4 hours each night. You need stuff. You need stuff on the card to fill, and and it's not even.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can't even do anything with the tag titles on a ladder match because there's 3 of them. So it's got to be a 6-person tag, and if there's no one on the roster credible really right now to team with Becky to make it different for WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm hearing rumors it's going to be Ronda and Shayna Baszler against Damage Control for the titles, which I'm okay with. I'd rather that than Ronda be in the title picture. Or I mean, the women's title picture, but I'm fine with that. If that's where you got to stick Ronda, then it works for me.
Yeah, I guess, they think I'm not knocking Ronda. She's not where she was when she first came. At WrestleMania 34, that match was fire. That was a nice tag match. She was over. Everybody loved her. I don't know if it was overexposure, too saturated, or
I think
people just don't like her. I don't know.
I think it was oversaturation with her. I think they should have treated her like Brock, and instead they treated her like any other person. And that's where they went wrong with me. I was like, okay, like it's cool seeing Ronda, but I don't want to see her every day or every week.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what they did, and they've kind of backed themselves into a corner, and now here we are. You know, it's fans aren't like clamoring to see her. So they got they've had a Ronda problem for a while, but I don't know how they're going to fix that. I don't think they are going to fix that.
Yeah, I think it's at this point it. I mean, it could happen to where, she's just like she's not like she doesn't need to be there every week.
No,
but now by giving them say they do Ronda and then Shayna versus Damage Control. The women's tag champions could be on both shows. They could be on all 3 shows.
yeah.
So now they're going to give Ronda those tag belts and show her on Raw.
Probably, and
they might even get a pop to put her on NXT to confront someone. You know
what? I wouldn't mind that because God,
keep her there. No,
not even that reason. NXT is just unwatchable. I'm sorry, it is just they got a lot of talent down there, but boy, oh boy, is that a bad show. I just did coverage on it last night. I do coverage on it every week, and it's just the worst show to do, not only to watch, but just do coverage on. And it's just terrible.
I'm hearing that the fans are turning on Braun.
Yeah, I saw that come from a mile away. It just, they got a problem with Braun Breaker. Now they got him facing Jinder Mahal next week off, but that's a whole nother problem they got. But
what about why they turning on him?
I think some people just think he's boring. I think, they're tired of him. It's just kind of like, okay, like, what's next? Like, who's going to be the next top guy? Which Grayson Waller. If there's anything out of this new NXT that's going to, Grayson Waller is one of the only positives that might come out. And him and Carmelo Hayes.
Oh yeah, I like Carmelo.
Those two, just put them on the main roster yesterday. They are just incredible.
That's good. That's good that there's some bright spots.
Oh, there's some bright spots, but it's like just torture trying to get through NXT. And I thought Rampage was bad, and it is, but not.
Is Rampage an hour at least?
Rampage is only an hour, which sometimes feels like 2 hours, but it depends on who. It depends on who's going to be on the show that night.
That must suck that you go from covering SmackDown, to Rampage. It kills your high from SmackDown. Like, what a great show.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh shit, Rampage. Like your tweets become more sad and like bitter.
Oh yeah, you could tell. It's just like, oh god, I gotta tweet about Rampage now. But it's just, SmackDown, the best wrestling show on television, and then I go from that to the worst one.
Look at the ones.
The one.
So SmackDown this Friday is in Montreal, and I think is Sami Zayn in a match, or?
To be completely honest, I don't even know. I gotta look up SmackDown plans.
I don't. Or he's making an appearance to. I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't have him on there, and I wouldn't have him on until the Chamber pay-per-view. To be honest, like save that pop because it's in the same spot,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to see him.
2 different crowds, so they're gonna still go crazy.
But for the Chamber, it's this Saturday.
I think they might have taped it. No,
Did they?
I don't know if it's in Montreal. I think they taped it because I don't think it's in Montreal. It's Friday. They might have taped it last week.
Huh. What am I thinking of?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they taped it last Friday.
Huh.
Unless I'm wrong.
Let me see. Yeah, because I didn't watch SmackDown last Friday.
I
I
didn't
don't
either.
know. I don't know what I was doing. I don't even know like where to go to find this. Like, where do I? SmackDown location. What's Friday's date?
17th.
Let's see. 2/17/23. Let's see if I get anything. Yeah, it's in Montreal.
No.
February 17th. So yeah, I wouldn't have him make the show. I mean, I would save that hometown pop. I mean, you're gonna get it anyway,
Yeah.
but I guess it doesn't really matter. But I'm definitely it sucks that like I want Sammy to win because I think it would be crazy, but
Yeah.
Cody's the guy,
Yeah.
it's
Cody
you're not
and
getting
Roman you got to do Cody and Roman. I love Sammy. He's one of my favorite people in the entire company, but you got to do Roman and Cody. There's it's a story within a story. You got the bloodline story with Sami Zayn, but then you got Cody Rhodes and his story. So you got multiple stories going into this main event, and that screams main event to me. Cody and Roman.
I agree. And that's, I don't think we're getting, the Daniel Bryan yes movement, with Sami Zayn to where, because the difference is that back then, it should have been Daniel Bryan, but they brought Batista back. And listen, I won $300 on that Royal Rumble because I had Batista's number. He came out, he won. I was hyped. But no one wanted to see Batista versus Randy Orton.
Yeah.
To insert Daniel Bryan made sense because it made the match better. But with Roman and Cody, they haven't even met face to face. And the whole story's there, like you were saying. Even before the Heyman promo, just Cody wanted to win. He wants to win the one title his dad didn't win, the WWF Championship, and WWE Championship. And I've been watching a lot of Attitude Era lately, and they don't bleep out WWF, so I'm like, yeah, the good old days.
The good old days when the Panda ruined everything.
Fucking Panda. But oh man, I hate that I just kind of lost my train of thought, but it's back now. So like the story's there with Cody wanting to, he was here, it didn't work. He left, he's coming back. He wants to fulfill the family dream. And
yeah, that's a big deal. I mean,
yeah.
Dusty, the story is, Vince didn't put the title on him in the Garden, and it stood with the Rhodes family and Cody for a while, and here we are. And I wish Dusty was here. I wish Dusty was still here. This would have been, this would have been off the charts if he was involved in all this.
It would only add to the layers. It would only add to it.
It would have been great because, wow, the promos they could have done. I would have.
Exactly the promos they could have done. the layers that could have been added to the story.
Yeah.
It's so.
Even with him not here, they're adding layers, which is good. I'm glad they're involving him and stuff. With the Paul Heyman promo with Cody 2 weeks ago, I thought that promo segment was just it's up there for me with promo segments in the history of Raw.
Yeah, it was very
great.
good.
Very good. Cody's the guy. Sammy's great, but you got to have Cody with it.
I agree. And it's going to be such an electric match, and we know what's happening. Hopefully Jey Uso could get into the country because
I haven't heard. I've been looking on that. I don't. I haven't heard much news on if he's allowed in or if either Usos are going. I have no idea.
I feel like
Maybe
he needs to be there.
Yeah, he's got to be there. At least Jey. I don't know. Jimmy, if Jimmy can't make it, it's fine. But if Jey needs to be there.
Jey has to be the one to cost Sammy the title to set up that tag match and to make it make sense.
Yeah, because they got to have KO is going to come out.
Right.
He's going to run out and make a save or something. And that pop. The pop for Kevin Owens is good. That might be the pop of the night.
The way I would play it out, have Roman on Friday, on the phone, talking to Jimmy, and, say that, I left you in the States to find your brother, find him, fix his bloodline. You handle business there. I'm going to handle business here. And it makes everyone think, oh, fuck, the Usos are not going to be there. They couldn't get in the country. Damn DWIs.
Yep.
And now, if Jey is there, I think that is such an important piece to the puzzle. So play it like he's not there, because I think that's going to be another pop too, that shock and awe. Jay's here. Who's he going to help? It's going to be some situation to where Roman and Sammy are close to each other. He has a chair. The ref is down. Heyman's yelling. Solo's knocked down. And then he hits, and then he attacks Sammy.
With this new regime, not that I didn't trust Vince, but Vince sometimes would throw you curveballs. It's oh, Vince, why did you, why did you do that? Why did you plan on having that be the finish? But with this regime, I got more confidence that it's going to be really good.
Good. All right, listen, I'm all for it. I'm excited. I have a brunch birthday.
Oh,
that day at 12 o'clock in Queens.
Yeah, but okay, yeah.
But it's a 4-hour bottomless brunch. So, I mean, out of respect for the birthday that I'm going to, I feel like I have to take full advantage of that bottomless mimosas for 4 hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping I can make it to the chamber, but I'm definitely going to catch that replay.
Yeah, you'll make it for the main event.
Yeah, and that's honestly the most important thing to me. We could go over the card real quick.
It's not a very long card.
Yeah, it's 5 matches.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need it's all you need for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Because with the 5-minute intervals, it's already a minimum 20-minute match. So we got okay. Which I'm we said it last week. I'm going to say it again this week. I'm surprised that we're doing this at Elimination Chamber. But Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. This to me screams the Hurt Business interfering.
I think the Hurt Business is definitely going to reunite. I just don't know how they go about it. It's one of those matches where it's like a coin flip. Either Bobby could win or Brock could win. I'm leaning Brock winning just because I feel like we're going to get Brock and Gunther. I know there's still reports out there saying, oh, it's not going to happen at Mania. I can't get off it. I feel like Brock and Gunther are going to have a match at Mania. So have Brock win, then have like I don't know, like maybe have the Hurt Business run down and attack Brock, and Bobby starts attacking them, and then they just reunite, something like that. Like Brock wins, but the Hurt Business reunites and gets some heat on him.
I don't know the outcome of this match because WrestleMania is still up in the air, undecided for these two. I thought for sure that this match would happen at WrestleMania.
Me too.
So, I don't think now is the time for Gunther and Brock. Gunther's got to win, and
you make him win.
I don't know. I don't know if he should go over. Obviously, it's the right way to do things, and Brock knows what to do. But what do you do with Bobby? What do you do with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre? Because it was rumored that they were going to go against Gunther for the IC title, and I would love nothing more for that to be a Mania match with a nice bro kick to Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus gets the win by pinning McIntyre. Mm-hmm. So that would make me happy because Sheamus gets his triple Grand Slam. Thank you. He gets his Grand Slam. Gunther doesn't take the loss. Drew eats the pin, and Drew continues to fall down the card into obscurity because I don't know what's happened, but he's not being. They don't. I don't get it. He carried the company, during the pandemic, and now he's not even on the card. Is he hurt?
He's been tagging with Sheamus, and they've been having tag matches. I think they had one with Imperium, Viking Raiders, and I think they just had one with the Usos. So Drew's stuck in that tag team with Sheamus right now, but I could see them two, breaking up, and then that's when they have this triple threat match with Gunther, or they could do it like that, and that'd be a great match. Yeah, but I just feel like Gunther versus Brock. I mean, I'd love to see.
I would love it.
Gunther just chopping Brock, if the chops to Brock, and that's a dream match. That's a dream match right there.
Gunther going for a chop, Brock reversing into a suplex. Hey, I'm down. Listen, I think it's going to be a good match. I think we'll know if that's happening, how this match finishes.
Yes. Because definitely.
I was thinking Hurt Business interferes, they attack Brock, match ends in a DQ, no winner.
Maybe.
And then the rematch is at Mania, but then it's almost like, are they going to run it back 4 times?
I just don't want to see this. It's a 4th time. I'm cool with 3 times, but 4, I don't know. Unless they have some stipulation match, or I don't know. I don't know what you can, maybe the fight pit or something different. I don't know.
Maybe.
So I could see Triple H going that route and putting them in the fight pit because they're both, from, Brock's from UFC, Bobby's from the MMA world. So I could see maybe a fight pit match at Mania if they continue this feud, but I don't know what else they could do. But I'm going with Brock for that one.
You're going with Brock? Yeah, you know what? Let's do our predictions too. I'm gonna go with Brock also because now you're making me want Gunther and Brock at Mania.
I really
And Brock is not gonna eat 3 L's in a row. To where he lost
did he
that
win the first one, right? No, he didn't win the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Bobby beat him twice.
Yeah, it was that pin reversal. So
Oh my God, yeah. So Bobby beat him twice. Wow. I forgot about that. Brock's definitely win then.
yeah, and if Brock is gonna go against Gunther at Mania, Gunther's gonna go over because that's how that's just gonna be a huge feather in his cap. And it's gonna just propel him
star making.
Absolutely propel him to the main event. So I'm going with Brock because I don't see Brock losing all this time because then it's gonna dilute Brock coming back. I feel. Yeah, and
definitely.
you don't want a Ronda Rousey problem with Brock Lesnar.
No, you don't. And Brock's been, I think he's been on Raw 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah,
and that's kind of like rare for him. So yeah, after Elimination Chamber, I would keep him off till
end of March.
We get closer.
Yeah. No, yeah. And maybe that's what they could do. He gets beat down by the Hurt Business. Either way, he could get beat down by the Hurt Business. So we'll see what happens with that. And that's what I like too, because none of these matches, aside from the main event, are really like set in stone and like, oh, it's obvious that this person's going to win.
No, the only one is the Asuka in the chamber winning. That's the only one it's obvious. But everyone else, all the other matches, is kind of question marks. Which is good. That's the way it should be all the time.
I love it. And before we talk about the mixed tag, did you see the Valentine's Day?
I did. I'm so happy they did that. I think I even said, didn't I say last week? I said I hope they do one for every holiday.
Yes, you did. Yeah. And Dominic Mysterio is slowly becoming one of my favorite things to see on TV.
I think I said this last week. I said if you would have told me that Dominic Mysterio would be one of my favorites, I probably would have told you you're lying. But
right,
he is now. It's just Triple H just made him a star, kind of.
Yeah,
he went from like people would literally, he's a channel changer. People would just groan when he came out. I was like, oh God, there we go. And now, forget about it.
It helps that he's so carefree with like making fun of himself.
Yeah,
like he doesn't care how he looks. Beth Phoenix doing the glam slam, him yelling "Mommy," and like that's gold.
It's the little things.
Like when they're eating dinner and then the cops come in, like he goes, I'm wanted on TikTok, or like he's the most wanted on TikTok. Dude, it almost broke Rhea. She was like, she almost died laughing.
Those two together are, I don't want to say it, I don't want to say it's Eddie and China, but because Eddie and China together were just fantastic. But I tell you what, it's the closest thing to Eddie and China.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a fan, and and you always have like these groups of people that maybe they're the Karens of the IWC, complaining or commenting, that Rhea paid for the dinner. It's a taped segment. It's a clip. It's not real. Cut it out.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
That's the IWC. You can't get away from it.
Rhea, she tweeted something else. She tweeted out about it because she's I guess a lot of and it was in character. It's great. I'm gonna try to look it up now. Yeah, no. Yeah. She goes, the audacity of everyone getting caught up on me paying the bill and overlooking the point that Ray and Angie are self-centered. There's more. She's like, don't be one of those girls that expect the man to always pay. Spoil your kings too. Dom Mysterio, I understand your trauma and I got you. Like,
She's
that is great. Like, it's you can tell they enjoy it. It's awesome. Priest
I can't
and
wait to
Rhea,
see, yeah.
them being with Balor and in the whole Judgment Day, so I think it possibly saved them from being comedy acts running around backstage with no fucking direction.
It did. I remember, what was it, the summer, I think it was, when Vince was still around, and I'll tell you what, Judgment Day was just, week by week, it was just like, oh God, them again. It was just, now I look forward to them coming on Raw.
It's another win for Triple H because
either a win for Triple H or a win for everybody involved. For the talent. Rhea and Dom changed his attitude, and Rhea's just a star.
Yeah,
and then you have the experience with Finn and Priest. So it's a really good faction.
It is, and I think around when Vince was on his way out, when they kicked Edge out of the group, Edge didn't want to be in the group anymore because I think they wanted to go more of like a
Bray Wyatt stuff.
Yeah, or like a Ministry of Darkness from not with all like the hocus pocus and stuff. And I just no, I don't.
No thanks.
But that it's almost like
I found it funny that he said no to that when he was in the Brood, and they were kind of like they were rising from the ground through fire, and they did some weird stuff in the Brood. But I guess at that point in his career, he had to just do anything.
Yeah, and the Brood has one of the best theme songs, entrance songs, entrances, all the above. It's so good that I hope that it's in the new video game WWE 2K23 because I'm about to pre-order the Icon Edition like a sucker. It's $120. But you know what? It used to be a physical game, and it came with all sorts of cool perks depending on who the game is on. One year I got a John Cena figure, and then they had 4 separate little pictures autographed. One was Mysterio, one was Angle. They did a Ric Flair one. And then and then I think for 2K14, they had a NWO Hollywood Hogan pop.
That's the last one I ever bought.
That's one of the best ones.
Yeah, that was the last one I bought was 2K14. I remember that. That was a good game.
Yeah, it was a really good game, and I'm trying to see maybe if the wife would order it, but she doesn't know how to do it, so I'm just gonna get it myself. And
hey, it'll probably be easier than ordering this AEW game.
This game's never happening.
I don't think it's ever gonna happen. They just got a rating for it, so it's coming out soon. I don't know when, but I ain't buying it.
Half the roster won't be there by the time it comes out. But yeah, I hope the Brood's theme is in there. But I'm loving the Mysterio, Dom Mysterio. Just what they're doing, and
great.
It seems that we're building toward a Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio match at WrestleMania.
It seems that way. It also seems like we're getting Edge and Finn from what I hear, maybe Hell in a Cell. So that'll be interesting.
I would like that a lot. Mm-hmm. I would like that a lot because it's going off what Triple H was saying, how Hell in a Cell is to end stories. It's not because it's October,
Right.
and this match could use it.
Oh, it could use it because I don't really want to see a singles match. I don't really want to see Edge, and I think we just got that. So, yeah, you got to. If it's going to be the end of the rivalry, which I'm assuming it's going to be, it's got to be in Hell in a Cell. It has to be. It has to be the end.
It's almost a year.
Yeah,
going on
I
with
mean,
this.
There's been its highs and lows with it, but it'd be a good ending with the Dom Mysterio Rey Mysterio match, and then Edge and Finn in the Hell in a Cell. I
like that.
And don't put it on the same night.
No. Hell in a Cell. I would do Hell in a Cell night 1. But I mean, I can't even say that because I don't even know what else they're doing. But I would be cool with that another Edge Hell in a Cell match, because the last one he did with Rollins was phenomenal.
That was great. I mean, it was in Saudi Arabia, but it was just a great Hell in a Cell match.
And listen, I get it. It's called Hell in a Cell, but get rid of this red cell bullshit. No more. Get rid of it. Triple H, listen, get rid of it.
I forgot
no more.
The reasoning.
It's stupid.
I forgot the reasoning why they said they're doing it. I don't know if it's because I forgot the reason why, but it was some stupid reason.
It couldn't be a good enough reason. No matter what reason it is, I will never accept it because it just doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't.
But mixed tag match.
Yeah.
Who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with Edge and Beth. I don't think Rhea takes the pin. I think Finn will take the pin because you can't pin Rhea. She's gonna be in the main. She's gonna be in one of the main. She's gonna be in probably the night 1 main event with Charlotte. So you can't pin her. So Edge will probably pin Finn for the win, and maybe I'm assuming maybe Dom runs out and Priest, or maybe they'll be at ringside, and maybe Edge and Beth get attacked afterwards, and
then Rey Mysterio comes out.
Yeah, something like that, and then where they can try and set up this Hell in a Cell. I'm acting like it's actually going to happen, but
yeah.
If
listen, it could. I like it.
Yeah, I've heard rumors, but I don't know if they're true. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Edge and Beth for that one, and it'll be great to see Beth back in there. I know it's been a few months, but it would be nice to see her and Rhea go at it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm gonna go with Edge and Beth as well. Especially they got the beat down on Raw, by Rhea, and they can't keep getting knocked down. And I'm gonna go with Edge and Beth.
Edge, the pop that Edge got in Barclays, I think that's the loudest pop I've heard probably since Sami Zayn hit Roman with the chair at the Rumble. I mean, what a pop for Edge! That was
I gotta go back and watch that.
Pop. Very. He always gets a big pop, but this one was extra loud.
People, speaking of pops, they thought that they were piping in Cheers for Cody. Like when it goes adrenaline in my soul, and then when it goes like the boom, when he, opens his arms. I'm like, no, not Brooklyn. You don't need to pipe in noise with Brooklyn. No, they're not gonna.
People that are saying that are just IWC people.
Attention. It's for attention.
AEW haters that they hate seeing that Cody is succeeding other places. It's just that's the way it is.
Yeah,
with them, they just want to say, "Oh, there's piped in noise." No, there's not.
bunch of jabronis.
Yeah,
I've gotten better. I've been ignoring it. I'm trying to.
I just tune them out. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just be like, but you're an idiot.
I tweeted
But
this out the other day. I something about I forgot what it was. Some Tony Khan said about the wrestling wars or something like, "Oh, we're in a war with WWE." Yeah, we're in some war. This is this is the smallest war I've ever seen. But I said enjoy everything. Like, why
yeah,
can't you just enjoy both companies? Whatever, and they say, "Oh, so we're in war." It's a wrestling war again. No, it's really not. You're not
yeah,
WCW you're not WCW in the late '90s. You're not.
not even
So
close.
please, just that's a whole nother show.
Oh, that is yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole that might be a whole week of shows.
Yeah, we don't have enough time left for that. We still
Yeah,
have 2 more matches. Well, because we went with Asuka for the women's chamber.
yeah.
All right, so the United States Championship Elimination Chamber match.
I'm really hoping it's Johnny Gargano. I like Johnny Gargano. I feel like he has to reestablish himself. They got to connect him with the audience more. I mean, he was the only guy this Monday that wasn't on the show that's going to be in the Elimination Chamber. They had everybody else from both chamber matches and all the rest of the matches on the show except him. And it was just like,
Why?
just forget about him? Yeah, like why wasn't he on the show Monday? So I feel like you gotta have him win. Triple H brought him back.
Yeah.
Why'd you bring him back just to blend in? I don't know. It just seems weird to me. He's a good wrestler. He was fantastic in NXT. Him and Ciampa had some great matches. Have him win. Why not?
And didn't he return in Canada?
He did, and he got a huge pop.
Yeah, a huge pop with his old theme song, not that new bullshit they gave him.
I know that's another thing they got to do. I don't know who made that call, but they gotta. I don't know if it's a music rights thing or what, but they got to change that.
Yeah, it's really bad. I don't know, to be honest. Like, looking at the guys in it, we got Theory, we got Rollins,
The safe pick
Gargano.
is Seth Rollins.
You know what? Yes, but with obvious, they're doing Rollins and
Logan Paul.
Thank you. Logan Paul at Mania, so that
doesn't need the title.
It doesn't. And like, how many times can he win the belt, hold it for a couple of weeks and lose it?
Yeah, it doesn't. That's why I'm not picking him. Even though he's the safe pick, I'm not going to pick him.
And
I'm not picking Theory either.
I would like Theory, but then he doesn't need the U.S. title. I don't think he needs it.
If he's facing Cena, he don't need it.
No.
That's a big enough match where you don't need a title.
Unless he does something like an open U.S. challenge at WrestleMania and John Cena answers it.
Maybe.
Because do you even really, are you going to have Cena to promote a match, to hype a match? Like, when?
I don't know.
It could be, it could be just a random spot like that, kind of like when they did Undertaker and Cena. Like, it wasn't announced or anything like that. It just
Seth Rollins and Cody last year.
Yeah, exactly. I'm stuck the mic down. I got excited. Yeah, Seth Rollins and Cody. Duh.
Yeah.
That's the bigger one. And that was Cody debuting. It's not like he's John Cena just showing up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Brunson Reed is gonna.
That one wouldn't surprise me because they've made him look like a monster.
You know what? It could be they made him look like a monster. So you can have someone like maybe Gargano be the one to beat him in the chamber, which makes
Maybe.
it like, oh, because I agree. Because looking at this list, Theory doesn't need it. Rollins doesn't need it. Brunson Reed, too early, my opinion.
I agree.
Priest doesn't need it. It could help him. He doesn't need it. And Montez Ford, I have a feeling we're going to get like tag team turmoil or something at WrestleMania to where, they get a title shot on Monday Night Raw for the Raw tag titles, because they got to split the tag belts up, at least split those belts up. So I don't see Ford getting his solo run yet. I would love for it to happen because I'm a huge Montez Ford fan.
I like him too, but I don't know. Not right now. I don't. I know a lot of people are pulling for him to win. I would love to see it, but I just don't know right now if he needs it.
And then that's the other thing. He doesn't need it. He's over. Just, with his personality, with Bianca. Bianca has him over. I mean, it's, people like him. So
maybe he does win it. I mean, I know they have a reality show coming out next year.
Oh, yeah?
Apparently him and Bianca are getting some reality show on Hulu next year.
Okay, I can see that.
So maybe they say, okay, let's put the belt on him.
Okay.
Give him a run until this reality show comes out. I don't know.
I want to say, for me, it's a toss between Gargano and Priest.
Yeah,
I say Priest because he doesn't need it, but I feel like he's the only one in the group without direction. Like Balor's pretty much the leader of the group. He's the vet. Dom,
I think Rhea might be the leader.
It's.
I tell you what, I don't know.
I was
be the leader of that one.
I think we talked about this a couple of months ago, and Rhea is the focal point of that group. I want to say, to where all eyes are on her.
When the fans in Brooklyn didn't she wasn't there, they were chanting for her. And when Judgment Day was in the ring and she wasn't at ringside and she was hiding somewhere, they were chanting for her. She's going to main event WrestleMania with Charlotte.
Yeah.
So if she leaves that group, I don't know. Be tough.
I don't want her to leave the group, and I just think these titles look like trash. And I get it.
They do, but
I know.
Do you see Patrick Mahomes running around with it all week?
I tweeted it out. That WWE is king. WWE is king. That's it.
What other brand or sport can that happen with? I don't think it can happen with any. They're so smart.
UFC is not giving out title belts to people.
No,
of course. It's a Brandon genius. It's a genius thing.
Oh,
big WWE logo, bullshit side plates for the teams that won.
Yep.
It's cheap. He's wearing it on stage. He's taking a photo with it, holding
the parade today,
the Lombardi Trophy. Yeah, listen. I looked at it and I said, you know what? They're never changing this design.
No, never.
They're not.
They're never going to. Never.
They're not.
Years.
Unless
they'll change a few details maybe about it, but I don't think they're changing much.
Unless they do something to where they change it, but they still give that version to
that's what
the
they're
teams. They could do that, but like if Cody wants to bring back the winged eagle, do it. My favorite. What's your favorite? Your favorite heavyweight championship? It could be WCW. It could be anywhere.
It's
like your number one. Yeah.
big gold. Yeah, that just looked fantastic.
Let me
It was
see.
the big gold was just so nice. I mean, it just looked like a world title. It was just a big gold championship. That one
Oh,
would probably be number 2 for me.
this
Yeah.
the Attitude Era Championship.
First person I
Oh,
think of when I see that is Triple H, 100%.
yeah, yeah.
That's a nice title. That's number 2 for me.
And you know what? For those who are gonna watch on YouTube, has the scratch logo, the
Yeah.
WWF scratch logo, not this ridiculous WWE fucking reprints they make. No,
Like
this
when I was a
is.
kid, the spinner was kind of cool.
I have
But
that
then
one too. That's up
once I
there
got
also.
older, I was like, yeah, maybe it made sense, but it was just like, yeah, maybe they should change that.
That's too far up there. But yeah, I got the spinner because me and my dad and my brothers, we went on family vacations to Seaside Heights, and we would have air hockey tournaments. And I just went on a sick run to where I couldn't be beat. So I was like, I'm the champ. The champ needs a belt. So I thought the spinner would be just the perfect, belt to get because it spins, kind of looked like a puck. So I'm like, this
Yeah,
is fun. But yeah, my favorite one is this bad boy right here.
I like that one. Yeah,
You
it'd be
know,
the
as
big
a
gold for me.
as a good belt collection, Jabberjaw Nick from the
He's shown me some. He has
mm,
that Razor Ramon one, the IC title. Very
yes,
cool.
with the toothpick
hmm
holder. That is a
Yeah.
good one. But whoops, we got a little off topic. I'm gonna go with um, Priest.
Okay.
Even though I know as I'm writing it down that Montez Ford's going to eliminate him, I'm going with Priest. And then
Montez probably will.
yeah, and then I'll
It'll
make a little
probably
YouTube
be.
clip.
It's going to be Gargano in theory final 2 because the way they had that history there with NXT, and I
Yeah,
could totally see Gargano beating him.
yeah, tap out.
I also could see Logan Paul somehow, some way, getting in there and attacking Rollins or something, and then Theory
That'd be
eliminates him or
crazy.
something like that. I could see something like that happening.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, but I'll go with Gargano.
I'm gonna go with Priest as of right now. I'm still a little on the fence, but we're doing the live show, so picks are locked in. I will stick with Priest. And now for the main event, I mean,
it's kind of a given. I
yeah,
think Roman Reigns all the way. I
yeah,
mean, it would be the ultimate swerve if they have Sammy win. It'd be like I would sit there stunned, but I don't think that's what we're seeing.
yeah. The only way Sammy wins is if it's by DQ. And then you can't do that
Yeah,
because it needs to be decisive. It needs to be Sammy's done on to
right.
Cody. And I'm going to say Roman wins due to outside interference from main
Jay.
event Jay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that too. And then after I see Kevin Owens coming out, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, maybe Cody." No, if I'm Triple H, I keep Cody off the show.
I agree with you because I wanted to mention this earlier. Cody had a great promo with Heyman, great promo with Sammy, and they both were revolved around Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
This face-to-face needs to be something that's not planned. It needs to be something that where it's Cody's in the ring, he's cutting a promo, and then all of a sudden Roman's music hits, And, you know, Cody's in the ring by himself. The whole entire bloodline comes out. And, you know, it's...
I would do it closer to Mania.
Yes. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely not saying this Monday night. No. It needs to. I don't want them to have a face-to-face until March. You know, a nice solid month, because, you know, it's already, I'm saying March, like, you know,
it's the 15th.
It's the 15th. So that, you know, next Monday's President's Day. No.
Yeah.
Put it off.
Please don't do it on that. Yeah.
You know, March 6th. That's it. March 6th will be a great time, because you don't need a lot of build with these two, because the story has been there.
Yep.
You know, since the Rumble, even since before, the story's been there since Cody's come back.
Yeah.
This match probably should have happened a hell of a lot sooner, but Cody got hurt.
Oh, it probably would have. Well, maybe not, because it might have. Yeah, it might have. It might have happened at SummerSlam, but this match, you had to save this for Mania. If you knew you weren't getting Rock, you had to save this no matter what for Mania, because this is a big match. Really big match. I mean, Cody Rhodes is in the main event of WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. Don't tell that to somebody 2 years ago.
I know.
They would have looked at you like you were crazy. Like, yeah, like, what? Are you crazy? Yeah, it's gonna happen, and it is. Tell that to Tony Khan 2 years ago. He would have just, I don't know. He would have had a heart attack.
I would love to know his honest thoughts. You know, like, I'm tired of all this bullshit. Oh,
I'll never tell you.
Like, he's a nice guy. He's a nice dude. Yeah, TK.
You'll never know.
There's a part of him that has to be furious that Cody left, and then that's when shit started really hitting the fan.
Ever since Cody left, it hasn't been the same over there, and it's unfortunate. And I'm sorry, and I think I said it earlier in the show. AEW right now is as cold as they can possibly be as a product.
Yeah,
they got they have MJF and Bryan Danielson. Like, they're setting up for that Iron Man match next month at the pay-per-view, which should be good, but that's really the only thing they have. And everything else, it just feels like filler. So
I haven't been watching. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I haven't been watching AEW. You know, I saw that the Ass Boys beat the Acclaimed for the tag titles, and
that's another reason why AEW's in the shape they're in right now.
Yeah, like, for me, it's I'm done. Like, it's, you know, I'll engage in conversation about it for the show, obviously, but, you know, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch something that is just so, like, I guess, unwatchable at times. And, you know, I don't want to pigeonhole the audience to where this is only going to be like WWE. Like, we'll talk about AEW. I have no problem with that, but they just got to give us something to talk about.
It just, right now, the only thing worth talking about is Danielson and MJF, and that's just about it. And I'm not even trying. I like AEW, but they're as cold as they have ever been, in my opinion. And WWE right now is the hottest that they've been in 10 years. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, and it's so good too, because you get, like, you know, I'm not trying to be like a dirt sheet podcast like other ones are. Like, that's not what we're trying to do. We just want to, you know, do recaps. You know, eventually, you know, me and you talked about, if our schedules open up, to go back and recap like older stuff, like the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression. Nick actually might do that too with us, you know, so that's, you know, that's something that I want to do down the line. But, like, you know, we'll talk about anything. AEW, TNA, WWE, WCW. It's just we need. We want to put out good entertainment. Good shows, and I don't want to spend my whole time bashing AEW or whatnot because it's not my goal. But I want to see them do good. There's people there that I like. I like Adam Cole. I like Britt Baker. I don't think Punk should come back.
No,
and I don't want him in WWE. I agree with Rollins. And everything Rollins said. Stay away. You're fucking miserable, and let that be that. And it's. We could do some more AEW shows down the line, when they have their big events and stuff. And, hopefully they're in a better spot. Yeah, me too. And that's what I want. I don't like AEW fans, on Twitter because they're just trolley trolls and they're the worst and they're uneducated.
Yeah. They just don't know how to enjoy things.
They don't. And, we're getting to that hot time, in WWE with WrestleMania right around the corner. So I'm hoping that some of that heat, some of that excitement hits AEW and they can start picking up the speed and, but they're losing people. I feel like people are leaving.
Right now it's, the ratings last 2 weeks have kept going down, and Rampage, I don't even know how they are still on television. I really don't. I mean, they get lower ratings than NXT does.
That's
and I
bad.
know the time slot sucks. But I don't just get rid of the show then. I don't know. Put it on YouTube it's unwatchable.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes you'll catch a good match, but I don't want to just see good matches. I want to see good stories and see some type of character progression or something. But they don't have that right now.
And it's there. I feel like they can do it, but when you know how to utilize top tag teams like the Revival, or I'm sorry, FTR, but
there'll be Revival sooner or later.
There you go. You saw that too, right? That picture that he posted.
I did. It could have been anything, but I don't know if he's just trolling everybody, which he probably is. But
it's working.
it worked. Yeah, it got a lot of people's attention. But oh god, I'd love to see just FTR being a Triple H WWE.
Yes, yeah. Me too. It's an exciting time. I'm happy. WrestleMania is right around the corner. I have a feeling that with this being Triple H's first WrestleMania, that he's gonna pull out all the stops, and that's why I'm thinking we get some sort of tag team turmoil, and the last team could be the Revival, and they get the title shot Monday night against Sammy and Kevin, because one of those belts has to come off them. You can't say it's working with the Bloodline unless you're going to combine the belts and it's one red, one blue, or it's half red, half blue, and they're each holding one. But
with me, I would just have one tag team title, because anytime they have two of them, they just never found the time, or they don't have the talent to do.
I agree.
To have two tag team divisions, they have enough talent just for one tag team division. So,
yep,
I would just keep it as one.
And they could be on both shows. I mean, that's if they're still doing this brand split. They keep on pushing back when the draft lottery is going to be, but it's like, when are you going to do that?
I don't think they're probably not going to do it for a while, but you kind of just have a feeling of who's going to be on what show. even though they're not really designated to one show, but you just have a feeling, okay, I'm going to see Roman on SmackDown. I'm going to see, Cody on Raw. That's kind of like the direction they're going with the brand stuff.
Well, we'll see what happens down the pipeline with that. And anything you want to touch on before we wrap up?
Yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to Sammy and Roman probably the most this weekend. I want Gargano to win the men's chamber. Just put the U.S. title on him. Have him have a 5-star match at Mania. Remind people of how good he was in NXT. And right now, the best way you can do that, in my opinion, is just put the belt on him at the chamber. And I don't know, maybe I know Ciampa's hurt, but maybe have Ciampa come back if he's healthy enough and have a match with Gargano at Mania. How good would that be?
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. But who knows? Maybe it does happen.
And we've been saying it so much, and I think that's what is great about this time too, is that everything is just so up in the air, but in a good way, to where it's not predictable, to where it's like, hey, this is what we're doing, and about it since the end of December. It's just so much could happen right now, and I'm excited.
I mean, if you look at the people in the chamber this year, not a lot of star power. You got you got Seth Rollins is probably the biggest star in the U.S. title one, and Asuka's the biggest star in the women's one.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of kind of mid-card talent in these chambers, which is fine because, you look at the main event, it's Roman and Sammy, which is, and they got Brock and Bobby and Edge and Beth. So you got a lot of stars outside of the chamber, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I look back to the first one ever with, you had Triple H, as Shawn Michaels, you had Chris Jericho, Booker T, Kane, RVD. I mean, you get a bunch of Hall of Famers there.
Yeah.
They're all Hall of Fame talent. And, you look now and it's like, oh, okay. And you got a lot of talent in these ones, but not a lot of star power.
And there's been so many chamber matches, for title shots, for the heavyweight championship, WWE championship. I forgot the Intercontinental Championship when Ryback won. I forgot about that. Tag titles, women's tag titles. There's been so many.
I just forget. That's why this shouldn't be a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It should go back to what, Elimination Chamber usually just be a unique match they did once a year.
Yeah.
Maybe not even. Maybe you'd have to wait 2 or 3 years before it came back. It was a period of time where I think they had one in 2006, and then they didn't have one till 2008. So they waited 2 years. So I would go back to doing it like that. But Triple H just talked about it. He's talked about getting rid of these gimmick pay-per-views, so maybe he does.
I think that would be good because it's almost like they have and you could tell maybe with the U.S. Championship on, like you're saying, not a lot of star power. So it's almost like, it's February. We have to put on 2 chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get, come on, guys. And, it does take away because there has been so many. And, it's at least 2 a year. And when you when you say it out loud, it's like, oh, it's not that bad. But literally, it's 2002? It's over 20 years old. And there's been 30, maybe more?
Yeah, when you have your own pay-per-view for it, it just gets oversaturated. It's you can't, I don't even remember what last year's Chamber was. The only thing I remember about last year's Chamber was Brock F5 theory off the pod. That's
Yeah.
all that's the one thing I remember. Brock won it, but I don't really remember a lot of the newer ones. It just when you have so many, you just forget.
Yeah, and that's why, like, when we were talking earlier, I was like, hey, if you have any time, take a look, see, like, we'll talk about some of the chamber matches we enjoyed. Then I'm looking through, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, there's so many. And I'm like, I forgot about like a majority of them. And yeah, the earlier ones.
Earlier ones for me were the best. The first one is just iconic. You had Shawn winning the world title after coming out of retirement, and you had they have a good show about this on the network where they talk all about the first chamber match.
Oh yeah,
and they talk about how when RVD did the frog splash off the pod, he I think something happened with his knee hit Triple H's neck.
Yeah.
And it like damaged his neck, and he couldn't breathe and stuff. So they had a good story about that one.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I think it was the Ruthless Aggression series where.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
And I thought that was a good episode where they were talking about the first chamber. The first one was the best one for me. The ones in 08 and 09 were pretty good.
Yeah.
We had
I liked the third one. I think it was the third one when Edge cashed in after.
Oh yeah.
I know it's not like it wasn't even the chamber match that I enjoyed because it was, Super Cena beating Carlito, Chris Masters, within 5 seconds of each other. But like when Edge cashed in, that was awesome.
That was a moment. I really put Edge as a main eventer.
Yeah,
really did. It just put him right in the main event scene. I watched that back a few months ago, and I was like, wow. I remember when Chris Masters and Carlito had their little little run. Wow, that feels like forever ago.
I know.
Yeah, that was a good one. The Goldberg one. Just seeing
SummerSlam?
him just I think it was 03. I think it was 03.
Yeah, 03.
And he just comes in, spears everybody, and he spears Jericho through the pod, and that one was a good one.
I don't remember the year. It was when Shawn Michaels came through from underneath, then he sweep spinned Undertaker.
I think that was 2010.
Yeah, it might have been.
Right? 2010 or 2011, because then that's when he had his retirement match.
Oh, yes.
So it was around that time. That was a good one.
Oh, what else?
The ones in 08 and 09, I remember. Yeah, Triple H won one of them, I think, that's when they were doing two. That's when they were doing one for the WWE title and the World title.
Yeah.
And you had Taker won the first one, Triple H won the second one. Those were good. I remember that one year when Edge.
Yes.
Yeah, when Edge got eliminated in like the first 30 seconds. And then he came back later that night and won the world title in this.
Yeah, he took out Kofi.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's a really good one too because, Cena was the champ. Edge got eliminated in the world title one, which kicked off the show. Mm-hmm. Then for the main event, he took Kofi's spot. And, it took, I think it was a code breaker, a spear, and a 619. And they pinned Cena. And he was champ, and Cena got eliminated. Then that's when you're like, oh, new champ. Yeah. And that was exciting. And freaking Edge, I think that's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
gotta watch that one back now.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one in a long time.
And that's what I normally do is for the big ones, not for like these. but like I would like hype myself up. Like I would be watching WrestleManias right now to get ready for, WrestleMania 39. But I'm like, that's too much because I'm watching the same stuff over and over. So I'm now doing my Attitude Era journey. That's the name's a work in progress, but I'm hitting Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, then the pay-per-view. And I'm approaching No Mercy 1999. And man, it was just everything. I tweet about it. Everything was on fire. The little stories seemed important. You have Val Venus pulling out Rocco from his pants, from the This Is Your Life, with Mick Foley and The Rock.
Yep. I watched that segment I think a week ago. I was like, you know what? I haven't watched that in a while. Let me watch that. And it never gets old.
And you know what's funny too? And I never really think about this, but This Is Your Life, the beer truck, these big moments, these weren't even like the main event or like the thing that ended the show. These were smack dab either, the beer truck kicked the show off, This Is Your Life in the middle. And like, I forgot about that now because usually it's all the big things happen, for the main event. But with what they're doing with this, I'm enjoying it. I like going back and watching that stuff.
Yeah, I always go back and watch Attitude Era stuff or Ruthless Aggression Era stuff. It's just two different time periods.
Yeah.
From now until it's getting hot now, but it'll never be that way.
No.
It's hot right now, but nothing compares to the hotness of they had in the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, even in the 80s. But different time periods.
Definitely different, but stay tuned because down the line we could be reviewing one of those pay-per-views from the Attitude or Ruthless Aggression eras, and hopefully you guys tune in and you're digging it. Stay tuned for our shows, next week where we discuss anything that's happened from now until then. Lots to talk about with Elimination Chamber.
Right.
And, we appreciate you guys listening. Thanks. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Download the podcast every week. We are going to be pumping out new episodes weekly as much as we can. So again, thanks for all the support, and just make sure that you follow Sal over at Wrestling Inc. on Twitter. He's going to be doing live coverage tonight for AEW. Friday night SmackDown, Friday night Rampage, and he will also be doing Elimination Chamber this Saturday. So make sure you tune into that. And that's all the time we have. Sal, are you good? Do you want to say any departing words to the masses?
Nah, just you know what? Shout out to Jerry Lawler.
Yes,
we almost lost the King a week ago, and it just was like a gut punch. I was like, oh no, like we can't lose the King, but he's made of Teflon, I think, or something. He kicks out. He has beaten death twice now. So shout out to Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett. His father, Jerry Jarrett, died today. He was a big time promoter back in the day. So Jeff Jarrett will be wrestling tonight. So shout out to him and his family.
Yes. Our condolences to the Jarrett family, and very happy that the King could still wear his crown, and Godspeed to both of them, and knock on wood. Let's all stay healthy, okay? Let's not do anything drastic, and let's all live well and be good.
That's okay. The King he'll be back in the ring next month.
Yeah, crazy. King, stay out of the ring, stay with the puppies, and thanks guys for joining the show. Take care and have a good night.
Good night, guys.